about Thanksgiving when we came over. We don't have Thanksgiving in Australia. We're not very thankful people. But we found out that you're celebrating thankfulness, and that's quite a wonderful thing. And so our family invited us over, and we had a wonderful day at our first Thanksgiving. And the father of the household came to us at the end of the night and said, "Hey, I just feel compelled to give you the keys to my brand new car, and I just want you guys to have it." So we fell in love with Thanksgiving, let me tell you. The second story was this. Christmas was coming up, and so in Australia, my parents always treated Christmas, it was the holy grail of all holidays, right? And so we did it up, we did it really well. And so Mom and Dad started saying things like, "Hey kids, Santa's gonna be bringing us smaller gifts this year, we're not gonna be able to quite have the Christmas that we normally have." And Joel in particular, but all of us were kind of like, "Huh? Santa not here for 4? It's all good, Mom and Dad, hang in there, it's gonna be fine." And so, and obviously as we kept getting closer to Christmas, they kept, saying those things. Well, a 7-year-old who was in the 2nd grade found out that we weren't going to be able to have Christmas. And he went back to his school class and he said, "Hey, I feel like we should sponsor this family for Christmas and should be able to provide Christmas this year for them." And I kid you not, they went to town. We had, still to this day, the most extravagant Christmas that I think I've ever had in my life, certainly here in America, was that Christmas that we were here. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. And it was really good, especially for us kids, because we got to go back to Mom and Dad and say, "Santa always comes through, Mom and Dad, you never have anything to worry about, So, it was a very, very special, very difficult, but very special few years for us when we first started here in America. And as I reflect back on those times now as an adult, I realized something. And that's this: the moment that we stopped giving, my family was on the receiving side of that giving, but the moment that we stopped giving to each other, giving to our friends, giving to our neighbors, and giving to the poor, our souls go dark. And some of you might be wondering, what does this have to do with anything? Well, I've been a part of an organization called Compassion International for a number of years, and Compassion International is a child sponsorship program that specializes in reversing the cycle of poverty in third world countries. It believes that by pouring into the youth of these countries, that they'll be able to raise up the next Mother Teresa's, the next Billy Grahams, the next senators, the next presidents of these countries, and they'll be able to transform these countries from the inside out. And I heard a very cool story about a little boy. His name was Richmond, and Richmond was born in Uganda. And he was already born into a difficult situation, but things got much, much worse when his father was actually murdered at a very young age. And so Richmond and his family, they were living in the slums. It was just obviously chaos for them and their family, not having a father to protect them. But so his mother was trying to figure out how to survive. And so she heard about the local Compassion International project. And Richmond ended up getting accepted into that program. Was in that program for a number of years, ended up graduating with the equivalent of a high school diploma. He then went on to get his bachelor's degree, then went on to the Moody Bible Institute in Chicago, and he got his master's from there. And then we heard that this little boy, who is now a man, is actually studying for his doctorate right here in the United States of America. Yeah. And I tell you that story because we don't want tonight to just be about lights and smoke and songs. We want tonight to be a night that lives on for forever. And the most challenging aspect of that story is this: the person who sponsored Richmond was a 15-year-old girl who said to herself, "Hey, you know what, I can babysit for enough hours every month, and I can afford to sponsor a child." And because of that one girl's decision, we are now seeing ripple effects take place all across the world. Because Richmond has now gone back to Uganda, is shepherding pastors, is planting churches, and doing absolutely remarkable things. Because one little girl said, "Yes, I can play my part." So in just a few moments, we're going to have some Compassion International volunteers come down the aisles with these things called child packs.